So thanks so much for being here. The first part of this, I'm going to share with you some of the ekphrasis poems that I have written already and the works of art that they were inspired by. And I'll kind of talk about what I did in the past, what my process was, and then I'll invite all of you to share some work of art with me, and I will write an ekphrasis poem inspired by that work of art. So we'll see how it goes. I'll do like this. Sure. Okay. So this this sculpture is by a French sculptor named Sylvestre Gauvry. This sculpture's title is Marilyn en Bleu. It was part of a larger exhibition that was in an art museum in Boca Raton in Florida, and or maybe it was near there, maybe it was somewhere else, but it was in that region. And they had all of these pieces that were inspired by Marilyn Monroe. This one was called Marilyn en Bleu. He had another sculpture that was just completely in silver, the same exact one. And then he had this one en bleu in blue, and then another one en rose in pink. And so, inspired by the title of this piece and the color of this piece, I wrote this poem titled Marilyn en Bleu with the same name as the sculpture. And because the sculptor was French, I incorporated some French words. I'll read it out loud. Marilyn en Bleu. I'm blue like dead lips, like thimble fingertips, no longer nimble, no longer touch the thumb one at a time, no longer tremble. I'm blue, like Patsy Cline blue, so lonesome for blue, like Murthy skin peeled, teardrops scaling down its haunch, yearning to stain pearl white teeth encre. I'm blue, like vein-wrapped knuckles, train maps to ventricles, like bioluminescence électrique under the Cheshire crescent. I'm blue, like Virgin Mary's blue veil billowing in the wind, her first time a wassailin, like dark-washed jeans, like dark-washed lungs heaving in denim factories. I am bleu, like the River Seine, its color cigarette ash dissolved in old gin. What I mean is bleu. Its sound tells you everything. I'm bleu, like the cat eye winking back at Norma Jean through the mirror on August 3rd, 1962, and I wonder, cher Marilyn, did you wish to be un bleu too? So for this piece, I also incorporated information about Marilyn, since she was the person that the art exhibit was all about. I did a little bit of research on her life. I incorporated her birth name, Norma Jean, the date before she died. She died on August 4th. And I played on the word of the title of the piece, Marilyn en Bleu, and use that as more of a focal point. Another poem piece that I did was inspired by this painting of two penguins that I completed for an exhibit in a cafe called the Fantastic Ekphrastic or Ekphrastic Fantastic art show, something like that. So poets were given paintings anonymously and asked to write a poem in response. And then they also submitted a poem. So somebody received my poem and then made a painting inspired by my poem. So this piece of two penguins I wrote. Tell me penguins are not poets. The way they huddled together, swaying as one to beat the cold. how they must rely on one another to weather each storm. I learned when they swim en masse, they're called a raft of penguins. And yes, I do believe, yes, watch us as we swim, gathering fish to share with our people, not letting anyone drown in the salty abyss. Us. Yes, we look, a raft of poets too. And this one I saw the penguins. I didn't really know much about penguins to start with, so I did a little research again, learned that they're called a raft when they swim en masse, and I just felt I guess I was taking it in more of an analogy between penguins and poets, a comparison, versus other styles of ekphrasis, maybe historically as well, will spend more time analyzing the actual painting or the actual artwork. They'll spend a lot of time describing what they're looking at and spend more time on the description of a piece, which there's no there's no right or wrong way to do an ekphrastic poem. It's more or less what you feel called to do. Does anybody in the Zoom room have a piece of art that they wanted to contribute for today's Joy of Poeting? You can put it in the chat.
I just got back from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Um, so I'm gonna share something that I saw there.
That's great. Thank you. I'm going to take this time to let you all know also that if you are interested in low cost poetry workshops, that I am coordinating a poetry workshop marathon next weekend that will take place on Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th, and Monday the 20th. All different kinds of workshops happening from facilitators across the globe, even not just across the country, but across the globe, and all different topics. So that's just donation based. You can donate even $1 in order to participate. Oh, thanks, Ginger. Ginger put a link to the Eventbrite. Ginger is one of our facilitators, is going to be doing a workshop on glossary and index poetry. I'll be doing a workshop that I've done in the past called Eco Poetry and the Modern Adventurer. And there are all sorts of workshops that are available. So if you are interested in low cost poetry workshops for a good cause, all the money will go to a fellow poet, Yanni Davis. I was actually inspired to coordinate this marathon because of my penguin poem being the raft of poets that hold each other up. She's going through kidney disease and kidney failure and is on a list and is trying to get on more lists to get a kidney. And in the meantime, she can't work, so we're paying for her living expenses. Okay, is it Mishi or Michi? Yeah, you can send it to my email. Ginger just put it in the email. Thank you, Ginger. Ginger's being my
It's
wing woman right now.
it's Mickey. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's Mickey.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll send. Yeah, it's pronounced different than it looks, but I'll send it over right now.
Okay, thanks so much.
It I just sent it, so it should go through. The
Okay.
name of this is just a segment of the larger tapestry. It is called
Ooh,
Biography of a Thought. And it was
yes.
like um acrylic on stretch canvas and woven carpet, like throughout like the entire like exhibit. And then this was just this one section of the
Can
mandala.
everybody see this? This is gorgeous. So my first step for um, for creating an ekphrasis piece is that I'm wondering if I'm going to change my camera over, and I'm wondering if you'll be able to see, oops, the, my paper and the artwork at the same time. Let's see. Did it go? Maybe it doesn't like doing this camera with the shared screen. I'm going to stop share and try it again. There it goes. Okay. Um, did everybody get to see that beautiful piece of artwork? Okay, you did. Um, okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down like some images that I see here. So of course we have the chair at the center. It's like a lone chair, and it's on like a little island. There are waves, water, flowers. We kind of have almost like a kaleidoscope. I think kaleidoscope. Um, I love the blue flowers in the background. Those kind of remind me of my childhood plates, like the pattern of plates that we had as a kid when I was growing up. And then the rings around it have different patterns as well. Almost they kind of looks like a layer of plates on one another. This is really beautiful. Thank you, Mickey, for bringing this. Um, I see like arches, bright colors. And you said it was acrylic. Can you say again the what was used to create this piece?
It's acrylic on canvas and I think stretched, hold on, and woven carpet. Acrylic on stretched canvas and woven carpet.
Oh my gosh. Who was the artist?
Um, his name or their name is Tenzing, Tenzing.
Uh-huh.
Last name Rigdol, and they're from Nepal.
Rigdol.
Yeah, they're from Nepal.
Okay. Wow, this piece is incredible. I feel very like it's a very vibrant piece. Okay.
Yeah, and it's honestly just like one section. So he did like four different, it's an installation. So
Mm-hmm.
there were four sets of painting and each one has 21 and total is 21 mandalas. So
Wow. Wow.
the exhibit was mandalas mapping the Buddhist art of Tibet was the exhibit.
Okay. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
bringing this piece today. This is beautiful. So just the first things that are coming to my mind looking at this piece, I'm I'm thinking about like dreamscape and maybe even daydreaming. I'm sitting in a wooden chair and the image in the front, it looks like it would be a wooden chair that's just kind of floating. So I'm gonna let my mind go that way. And because there's no entity of any kind in the chair, I'm going to start with just um, I leave my chair. I might not, um, when I revise this poem in the future, I might move things around. Well, maybe I'll do some revision in this session right now, but we'll see how it goes. I leave my chair, um, my island. I leave my chair, my island, um, this boat navigating flowers among waves. I leave my chair, my island, this boat navigating the flowers among waves. There I go. Um, spinning, spinning round, um, spinning round the mandalas of the mandalas in this dream, in this dream life, dream life. Floating, floating. I want to say like a cloud, but that's too cliche. Floating like uh, a piece of cotton candy floating, oops, like a piece of cotton candy um, fallen from a child's mouth. Letting the carnival lights, letting the carnival lights and field of those look like roses to me, but uh I'm not a florist or a horticulturist.
I thought they were blue roses.
Blue roses, yeah. Like some of them in the background kind of look like maybe they are chrysanthemums, but
Mm,
I'll
yeah.
go with field of, I'm gonna put blue in parentheses, or brackets. When I put something in brackets, it means I don't want to keep it that way.
Okay.
Um, I feel like saying a color outright is too easy. And we're poets. Things need to be more challenging than just saying it outright. I want to go back to that color, and I'll do that on my next go around. Letting
Mm,
the carnival lights and field of blue roses um let's see, lull me away, lull me away. That's what I got. I leave my chair, my island, this boat navigating the flowers among waves. Yeah, maybe I want to be more specific about what those flowers are as well. Um, I leave my chair, my island, this boat navigating the flowers. Mm, the blossoms, the blooms. The um, sunset blooming, the sunset colors blooming among waves. There I go, spinning round the mandalas in this dream life, floating like a piece of cotton candy fallen from a child's mouth, letting the carnival lights and field of, let's see, what does that blue invoke in me? That blue, it's like a light blue, it's like a sky blue, it's like a um, ice blue. What do I know that is also that color? Letting the field of roses, the field of roses, the color of my son's eyes, lull me away. All right, so what I'm going to do next with this piece is, you know, the format of it is not my favorite. I'm just going to read it and create some more interesting line breaks, perhaps. So let's see. Okay. I leave my chair, my island, this boat navigating. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. There. I leave this boat navigating. Um, lone wood. I want to say lone wooden chair though. Lone wooden chair. Okay, I'm gonna address this to the lone wooden chair. Lone wooden chair, capitalized because I'm using it as a name. Lone wooden chair. Forgive me for leaving your island of safety to navigate the sunset. Oh, but I actually mean the sunset colors blooming among waves. I'm going to change there I go to it is my nature to go spinning round the mandalas of my dreams. Do I want floating in this line? It is my nature to go spinning round the mandalas of my dreams. I'm going to put it here. Floating like piece of cotton. I like that enjambment, so I'm keeping it. Candy fallen from a child's mouth. And letting the carnival lights and field of roses Oops, there's no color. The color of my son's eyes. I think I'm gonna have a long sentence here. Lull me away. It's almost like the sentence then is what is lulling me. And maybe even when I transfer this onto my whoops Word doc, I'll add some more white space so then this line drags across the page and it's longer than the rest. Um, and maybe this will be the title, and then I'll put after Tenzing. There you go. Um, I'm only seeing the chat now. The George Floyd. Oh, thank you. You found it online. Thank you, Ginger. I'll put that link in the YouTube version of this session episode. Are there questions for me about this process or about ekphrasis? We're at 8:30. I try to make it like a half an hour. So it's like short and sweet, and you get in and you get out. But I'm happy to take questions, and I'll give you more than a second to think about it because I feel like last week I was like, "Are there any questions?" No? Okay, bye. And I want to give a little bit more space if there's anything that you want or anything that you just want to say out loud.
Um, it was really cool to see your process, Anne Marie. Um, I missed the first, like probably the intro coming in, and so how long have you been doing this type of form?
Um, let's see. Well, that the first poem that I shared with you, Marilyn on Bleu, that was part of my first poetry collection that I published that I worked on like almost immediately from when I started writing poetry, which was
Mhm.
in December of 2019. And um, so I went to that exhibit. I went with like my old partner who we're not together anymore. So I think we went there for Valentine's Day that of 2020. Um, so I guess early on, I don't know how I learned about the existence of this form, how I learned that it even was a thing. Maybe I learned it from this competition that I just saw and wanted to enter. I'm not sure. I was a semifinalist, but didn't win. No honorable mention. But that's no problem. No problem. Um, and then I just have really taken to it. I actually wrote an entire chapbook called Body of Work. That is all inspired by women and non-binaries, not necessarily works of art. I also have news articles that I wrote poems about, um, as well as sculptures, not just paintings, textile work, as well photographs. Um, it hasn't gone anywhere. I did send it out. It was shortlisted for one chapbook contest, but I've had other ideas and other inspirations. So it's just kind of sitting in my Google Docs at this point. But maybe I'll do something with it, or maybe I'll break it up and put different pieces in other things. But I haven't just yet. But thank you for asking.
Yeah, you definitely inspired me. What a coincidence that I came to this workshop today and went to the museum earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you do
definitely.
write an Ekphrasis piece, I would love to read it. So send it my way.
Okay, yeah. Definitely. I'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions before I say goodnight? Oh, let me put up the poll. Thank you for staying. And I'll do the poll for next week's Joy of Poeting. And if there is a tie, then I will put it up on my Facebook and in my Instagram story for voting. And and if you don't have any ideas of what poetic form you want, then I'll just kind of choose one at random. I'm working on a like 365 days of poetic form book in collaboration with one of my poetry friends, Joseph, and of like having the poetic form and the rules, but then also an example of one. And there are a lot. We have over 200 right now, but it is a somewhat of a slow process of getting to 365. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to give a few more seconds. All right, last 10. If you haven't put up your vote yet, now is the time. Oh, and I see yours, Aaliyah, in the chat. Okay. And share results. Did I share them with you? I don't know where they went. Okay, well, I'll find it in my Zoom thing. I see Aaliyah, can you tell me about, is it a loon or a lune? Can you tell me what that is?
I'm hoping you can. Yeah,
You're hoping I can?
yeah, 353. 3 syllables, 5 syllables, 3 syllables, or you can do words.
Okay,
Just
three
have to
syllables,
type it.
5 syllables. That is hard. 3 syllables, 5 syllables, and then 3 syllables, and it has to be a poem that, has some sort of wow factor to it. That is a challenge. All right. Well, okay. I will look into it. There were a few details. There we go. There was one other vote in the poll. So, and that was guzzle. So it'll be a loon versus guzzle in our vote for next week. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you on the 19th at 8 p.m. Good night.